Welcome to today's webinar, Preparing for the Holiday Rush, a part of our ongoing Exploring Entrepreneurship series. So before we begin, I'd like to introduce any new participants here today to the Regional Business Center. So we are a one-stop source for information and guidance on starting, expanding, and operating a business. We are proud to serve Greater Sudbury, Espanola, Manitoulin Island, and the surrounding areas with services including confidential one-on-one consultations, business plan support, market research, registration, and so much more. Some of the things that we do, we have a number of really great programs. I am just going to put my phone on silent before I forget. There we go. So one of our really great programs is Starter Company Plus. So this is whether you are starting or expanding your business. Our part-time training program will set you up for success with a grant of up to $5,000 for your business. If this is something that interests you, keep an eye out because we are going to be opening applications in early January to sign up for this great program. And that's where you would find out more information. I was a little ahead of myself. So if you're interested in getting your company and your business jump-started and on the right track, check out Starter Company Plus. It's a really, really great program. It's really thorough. It'll get you your business plan up to the level that you want it to basically make sure that when you finish the program, you're as set up for success as possible. Our next program is the Summer Company Program. So this one is specific for students aged 15 to 29. They can receive a grant of up to $3,000 to start and manage their business over the summer. So if you yourself or somebody that you know is a student and they're looking to start a business, but they really don't know where to get started, Summer Company is a really great program because it's only during the summer. You can continue your business past the summers if you choose to. If you want to do it for just summer, then great. Then you get a great experience. You get your foot in the door when it comes to entrepreneurship. And like I said, you get $3,000 to start and manage your business. These applications usually start in also early 2026, about March. So keep an eye out for that. The program runs from June 2nd and ends on Labor Day. And then lastly, we have the Business Incubator Program. This is for a new startup or a business idea that you're looking for some extra support. This is a 6-month free program with a very specific focus on mentorship. So if you're someone that you need help kind of navigating the troubles and the challenges and the successes as they're happening, the incubator program is really good for that because you get help as you're growing your business. Now, this one is actually open for applications. So if you're interested, ignore that date. It is not October 9th. It is December 1st. If you're interested in the incubator program, please apply by December 1st, not whatever the state says, ignore that. And that way you can get a start on hopefully getting some mentorship. This is our only program that doesn't come with a grant, but there are a lot of other benefits. And then we don't do any of this work alone. We work really closely with the 3 levels of government, which is federal, provincial, and municipal. We also work closely with the 3 local secondary schools, other private industries, and specialties. If you're looking for things like accounting advice for your business, as we're not licensed accountants, we would then refer you to Baker Tilly, one of our collaborators. It's a way that we can help you as much as we can in areas that we're not the expert in. Some upcoming events. Thank you all for coming to today's webinar, but we also have webinars running all the way until the end of the year. So next week, we have the Market Research First, Success Next. That's for anybody who's trying to figure out if their business and their industry is popular in the area, if there's a demand, who is it in demand for, and so on. Then we have Strong Personal Brand, infusing your personality into your marketing just the day before Halloween. This will be done with Campo Heating. If you've seen any of their commercials, they do a lot with themselves and with their grandkids. So we decided to ask them because they have such a great presence, and they will be talking about that. The owner will be talking about that on October 30th. And then lastly, we have Writing a Business Plan. This is in no way the last webinar of the year. This is just the 3 upcoming ones that I like to share. Writing a business plan is another part of our entrepreneurship series where it gets you on the right path before you've completed your business plan. Or if you're just looking to refine your business plan, this is also a great webinar just to brush up on it. And then lastly, we have over 25 webinars added to our YouTube page. So if you need help with anything from like bookkeeping to social media to managing, go check out our YouTube channel. It's a regional business center, very easy. They're all uploaded there. And then you can even find this recording up on the YouTube later on. Another upcoming event, we have the LU pop-up market happening October 2nd, 20th. So this is celebrate and shop and connect with students and alumni, entrepreneurs as they showcase their products and share their stories. If you are a student or alumni of Laurentian with a business, you can come celebrate Small Business Week at the Student Pop-Up Market. Whether you sell a product or a service, you're invited to register as a vendor. You can find more information about that on our website. Two little cute things that's happening with this specific event is Futurepreneur, a grant offering program, will be sharing information about funding, mentorships, and resources for entrepreneurs between 18 and 39 years old. So again, if you fall within that student category, come to our event and you can start chatting with them. There will also be Melissa from the incubator program that I was just sharing about, who'll be sharing information about the program and the upcoming cohort. So if that interests you, be sure to come and check out the market, come shop around and support some local businesses and find out more about the incubator program. With that being said, I want to thank you all for coming today and introduce our two special guests. First of all, we have Nick Welsh. Thank you for coming. She is the founder of Nick Welsh Social, a Sudbury-based agency that helps small businesses build their social media presence. She has over 7 years of experience creating authentic content and strategies that connect with audiences and help businesses stand out. For this webinar, she will be focusing on preparing for the holiday rush in terms of social media and marketing. Our second guest speaker is Denise Rogedy, sorry. Oh, I don't know why my bio for you is not saved, but Denise has been owning Huckleberries Chocolatiers in downtown Sudbury for about 20 years now. You've probably seen her a lot in social media, Sudbury tourism page, and her incredible Dubai chocolates that are constantly selling out. She is going to be sharing with us how to prepare for the holiday rush on the retail and inventory side. So with that, I'm going to close my slideshow. There we go. And Nick, if you would like to take over and share us how to prepare for the holiday rush.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rafi. It's great to meet everybody. Hello, I can't see your faces, but hi. I'm excited to be here. I'm just going to share my presentation that I have for us today. So as Rafi mentioned, we are discussing marketing ourselves on social media for the holidays. So that's going to be my focus today, is how we can build up these marketing campaigns specifically targeting the holidays and how they can fit into our overall campaign. I mean, Rafi gave a great introduction, so I have a little bit about myself. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah, okay, great. So we can see the presentation. Good. So I have been a social media coach and social media manager. I launched my business in January 2020, and prior to that, I had some additional marketing experience. So I've been doing this for about 8 years, and I've worked with plenty of different kinds of entrepreneurs. So I've worked with retailers, I've worked with restaurants, I've worked with online coaches, web designers, podcast producers, a very great variety of different businesses. And so today, what I really want to focus in on is how to build our holiday campaign, how to focus on messaging and content creation that's specific to the holidays, and then how to start driving those sales. So first thing is first here. We need to understand the customer journey. So what I'm going to be covering is the customer journey. We're going to go into some messaging, and then I really want to talk about how it all fits into your overall marketing campaign. Because what's really important is that we don't view this holiday campaign as its own entity, but it should be a part of your greater marketing strategy. Like, we want everything to fit together. So if we have these overarching goals for our marketing strategy of meeting certain sales for the year, or funneling people to our email lists, or wanting to grow our following on social media, we can use the holidays as an extra boost to hit those overall marketing goals. So I'm going to start with the customer journey, because that's something that's really important to understand in building up what that strategy looks like. So when we talk about customer journey, it's really all about what kind of path do you want to create for your potential customer to follow. And if you do some research on customer journey, there's like way more than these 4 steps involved. So I've really kind of like simplified it here for us. But overall, we want to focus on what are we doing to drive awareness. That's when our clients enter our kind of funnel, right? They start that journey. What do we then want to do when our customer is aware of us, but then considering, hey, I might want to engage with this business in some kind of way. Maybe I'm considering purchasing a service. Maybe I'm considering purchasing a product. How do we want to speak to them when they're in that phase of that journey? How do we want to greet them, right? What platforms are they on when they're in that consideration phase? We need to also think about the purchase phase. So taking it a step further down our funnel, where are we in that purchase phase? What does that look like for the customer? Are they on our website? Are they buying in person? Like, what does that part of the process look like? And then lastly, retention. So how do we want to re-engage our clients that have already purchased with us, right? And I build it out this way because I want to illustrate the different platforms that are involved in these processes, right? So social media, our branding design, email, networking, print, these are all major pieces of that awareness stage, right? When we're on socials, when we're online, we're very discoverable, right? So it's like, is someone sending one of your posts to a friend, or are they searching a certain keyword or hashtag that makes your post pop up? Like, what is that awareness stage looking like? Consideration, so email lead generation. So has this person then seen you on social media and then thought to themselves, hey, I'd like to subscribe to that email list because I'm now invested and I want to see what this person is putting out as far as products and services go. I have an interest and I'm considering purchasing, right? So they've taken action on that consideration to go a step further. This can also look like them visiting your website, right? This can also look like maybe there's a blog post that you have that caught their eye that really speaks to them. Purchase is pretty straightforward. Website, brick and mortar location, right? Where is that transaction happening and how easy is it for that client to access that transaction? And then, retention. So it's a big customer service piece involved there, but they may still be following you on social media. So we can re-engage past clients through social media campaigns, through email if they've already subscribed, right? And then also they may be revisiting your website if they're considering purchasing again. So that kind of paints the picture of the customer journey. And I'm going to have to zoom through these because I talk way too much. So we're going to have to go quickly. But now that we understand the customer journey and how to start thinking about strategizing it for driving sales, we can then discuss how do we want to actually speak to our target market on each of those platforms, right? So what kind of messaging are we using on social media, through email, on our website to really appeal to that customer? And I've based this around some holiday messaging, so there might be some ideas here for you to use. But essentially, when we're focusing on messaging, there's certain points we can focus on. So one of the messaging strategies that can be used are pain points. So how can we like emotionally appeal to the customer? When we think about content on social media, it's not like your typical ad. It's not the same thing you're putting up on a billboard and saying, "Hey, I've got this deal, right? 20% off sale, 20% off holiday sale, visit us in store." It's not that kind of like ask right out of the get-go. We really want to warm up our audiences because we need to make sure that our content is valuable so that our client will continue to follow us, right? So instead of that one and done kind of marketing that we're used to, which there is a place for, social media is much more value driven. So it's like, what am I getting from following this page? And so in crafting our messaging to appeal to these specific kind of storytelling points, we're able to attract that customer and client in like a long-term way. So if we focus on pain points, that might look like focusing on like, hey, maybe people are on a budget this holiday season and they really want to make it work. Maybe they're overwhelmed because they have so much to do. Maybe they're low energy and they're feeling drained before the holidays even start. Or maybe there's some like fear and guilt, right? Like there's lots of family involved around the holiday season. You know, I want to enjoy the holidays. I don't want to let people down. So ways that we can use that in our messaging is, you know, making it really relatable. So saying like, hey, I hear you. The holidays can be really expensive, right? Maybe we're offering like a sale to counter that and we bring in our like call to action, right? Like save on our candles this season. Like we know the holiday season is stressful. We want to make this as easy as possible. If it's overwhelm, you know, talking about like how your product or service might help them in their day to day, right? So, um, you know, the holidays are hectic. That doesn't mean you have to burn out. So, book a 60-minute massage to recharge before the chaos begins. Talking about those pain points is really going to make people feel seen and heard and say, like, hey, actually, that might help this problem that I'm having. That might fill this need that I'm having. So really making it relatable and getting specific on like how are these challenges affecting them in their day to day. Now, I know that marketing via pain points isn't always the most appealing thing. So we can go to the flip side and also market via transformation points. So we can come from an inspirational angle, right? So talking about how does your product or service actually help that client with things that they want to achieve, things that they want to get. So for the holidays specifically, that might look like maybe they want to feel a bit more calmer and grounded during the holidays. And, you know, hiring a cleaning service to clean their house before their Christmas dinner might be really helpful for them. And we can frame that by telling that story like, hey, listen, the holidays are crazy. How can we bring a little more calm into your home before the chaos begins? And that speaks more specifically to someone than, hey, get a gift card for the holidays. Did see the difference between that messaging? Appealing to that story can be really, really effective. So, you know, maybe they want to feel more confident hosting or showing up. Maybe they want to spend more quality time with loved ones. Maybe they want to end the year feeling proud. And there's ways that we can talk about your products and services that will help the client achieve these things, right? Even with gifts, when we're talking about products, right? Maybe this is a gift that they can be really proud to give to someone. And so asking yourself, like, what does a happier holiday look like for your customer? What are they able to do once they feel more, you name it, rested, confident, supported? What are the things that they're looking to achieve? And so an example for like a product-based business might sound like, imagine unwrapping a home that feels calm, cozy, and ready for connection, not cluttered, chaos, right? Our holiday decor kits make it easy. So there's different ways to frame these things. And I know sometimes it feels limiting where you're like, okay, but how do I even do that for my product or service? And we can talk about that. But there's always a way you can kind of twist it into appealing to that transformation point. An example for service-based might be, hey, start the new year feeling recharged and ready and not recovering from burnout. My December coaching package helps you finish strong and stress-free. So there's a couple different ways we can do that. But the main thing here, and this is something that I just talked about, is that we want to make sure that we're adding value. So content marketing specifically is about telling your brand story, right? So you can pick transformation points that also are relevant to your business values too, so that you're communicating things that you feel good about that also appeal to your client that you're seeking out, right? Because you're going to attract people that hold those same values as you. So adding value, telling your brand story, having some emotional appeal, and adding like a human element to your marketing strategy. And then also being timely and relevant, right? We're talking about the holidays, so let's be real about it. So to ensure that you're following these guidelines, something that can be really helpful is making sure you're following the 3 purposes of content. So you either want your video, photo, caption, whatever it is, to inspire, educate, or entertain. And it can be a combo of any of these two. A lot of content out there serves to entertain and educate at the same time, right? So we capture attention at the same time as we're delivering knowledge and information. Or we can inspire and educate at the same time. So by making sure that like your content has these underlying goals, ensures that it's delivering that value. So you can always ask yourself before you create a piece of content, like what kind of value is this giving to the customer? So the last thing I want to talk about is how this campaign fits into your overall strategy, because that's a big piece of this. So we want to make sure that everything stays consistent throughout the year to your brand, to your values, to the products and services that you're selling. And so the way we can do that is by connecting your holiday campaign to your yearly goals. So if you have an overall goal of growing your email list, maybe you're offering like a holiday freebie or some kind of downloadable guide that's only accessible by signing up and subscribing to your email list. So you're like promoting this on social media and driving traffic to your email list by saying, hey, we have like 10% off coupons if you sign up and subscribe today. So that's one way of doing that. Another example is if you're looking to increase your retention, right? You want more repeat customers. Maybe you're launching like an exclusive VIP customer appreciation sale. So people who have purchased before get an exclusive discount. Another example would be like if you're trying to strengthen your brand awareness, so building that social media following, you might think that a 12 days of giveaways post might or campaign might be effective so that you're attracting new clients in and new customers in. And then you can take it a step further and you can collaborate with strategic partners, right? So there's ways on social media that we can literally collaborate on posts and tag other people in our content where we're doing like combined giveaways with other people in our network. And so then we can share audiences, which is really, really effective in growth. Basically, by aligning your holiday strategy with long-term goals, your efforts continue to work for you after December ends, right? So like, let's leverage this holiday campaign to feed into your year-round goals. I'm going to try and speed this up a bit, but we're almost done. Lastly, you want to keep it consistent by mapping it onto your customer journey. So we talked about that customer journey. So keep that in mind as you're building this holiday campaign as well. What are you doing for awareness? Are you doing some holiday tips? Are you providing some inspiration, some festive behind the scenes? You can engage everybody by doing quizzes and giveaways and polls. So getting them to take action on things, right? That purchase phase. So maybe you're doing some time sensitive offers, you're bundling things, you're offering service discounts. And then lastly, for retention, are you sending out thank you emails? Are you doing client appreciation posts for the holidays, right? I know Thanksgiving is literally this weekend, but doing some kind of appreciation, like thank you all the customers, like look at what we have coming down the line for the holidays. So those can be really effective. For messaging in keeping it consistent. We want to make sure our audience sees the connection between our core messaging and our holiday messaging, right? So keeping those values in mind that we talk about year round and incorporating that into the holiday messaging. So, let's say you're an esthetician, you're helping women feel confident in their skin. Maybe your holiday messaging is more about glow confidently this holiday season. So it's just a quick little twist where we're adding that like holiday kind of sparkle onto it. Um, and then also choosing your campaign is a big part of it. So we talked about 12 days of giveaways as a great example, doing a gift guide series where you're like bundling a bunch of products. That goes into bundle and save, right? So maybe you're doing some curated sets with a limited time discount. You can do early bird sales around like Black Friday and rewarding shoppers who buy early, and then last minute gift push. So promoting e-gift cards and local, right? So using those keywords, which can be really important. Those are great for product-based businesses. For service-based businesses, we can talk about like holiday prep packages, right? So getting ready for the holidays and gearing up for it. Maybe you're offering like 3 cleaning services to help you stress less this season. Maybe there's a countdown to calm where you're doing like a tip series through email or Instagram. There's a gratitude week where you're thanking people and by giving them a small bonus for booking before the end of the year. We talked about client appreciation a lot. So maybe there's a client appreciation event even where you're offering a free webinar or workshop. And then lastly, like gifting some kind of service. So promoting gift cards for your services, but wrapping that into the messaging that you've been using. Okay, and then keep it measurable. So this is the last thing I will say is basically that you want to really define like those goals that we talked about for your overall marketing campaign or your overall holiday campaign. You want to be setting those and keeping track of them, right? So where did things work and where did things not work? What are we keeping for next year that we want to reuse and what are we scrapping? Marketing is a lot of trial and error, right? So your strategies get developed and modified as you test things out. So it's really important to keep track of like your email list growth, your social engagement, your website traffic, your sales or bookings, so that you can really analyze what's working and what's not working for next year. So yeah, that's essentially it. I went a little over, but hopefully everybody kind of got the gist of that.
Thank you so much, Anik. That was wonderful. Even I was taking notes.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
So if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A. We're going to move on to Denise's presentation, and then at the end, we're going to go through all the questions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share Denise's presentation. There we go. And Denise, whenever you want to get started, you just tell me when to hit the button. Oh, I think you're still muted.
Sorry about that.
Perfect.
Hey, everybody. It's nice to meet y'all. Glad that you could make it here today. My name is Denise Ragoti, and I've been in business in Sudbury now for 20 years. I've been downtown for 8 of those years, and I have had a little bit of ups and a little bit of downs, and as far as the holidays go, I guess you can change the screen. Yeah, and I'm originally from Texas. I moved to Canada. I've been here for 25 years now. So I'm pretty much a Sudburian through and through now. I really enjoy the area, and I have 3 amazing children, beautiful daughter-in-law and a wonderful son-in-law, and 3 bonus grandkids, and then we welcomed my daughter's first baby in March. And you will see all of them in the store helping, because a lot of times you need to ask for help. So some of the products that have done better especially this year than I expected, was this Dubai craze, the candy grape craze, the Biscoff bars. I didn't realize the power, I think, of TikTok and it coming into Canada, and letting all these people in Sudbury know that this is what's going on in other parts of the country, other parts of the world. And so whenever I see something go viral, I kind of tend to want to try it. Um, it's it's becoming increasingly hard to keep all three of them going. So I kind of have to pick and choose when to do things now. Um, you can change it. Um, so the way that I have gained my clientele over the years is basically word of mouth, supporting local charities, social media. Um, my my business has grown organically. I don't do a lot of advertising, um, like with newspaper, radio, that kind of thing. I've kind of all just let it kind of come to me. And when you have good product, it speaks for itself and people will come. Some of the things that I do for promotions to help gain more business is I when something has gone viral online, I always try to try it out and see how it goes. There's lots of festivals downtown that I always offer promotions for. Like one of a couple of the big ones that we do is the student discounts for university and college students, um, Howler's Pick during hockey season, and then we do a lot of holiday giveaways. Um, like Nick was saying about the 12 days of Christmas, it's something similar to that. And I also do giveaways myself for different holiday seasons. Just a little small gift package, and it goes a long ways. And for trends and how do I find out what to participate in is TikTok has become my best friend. And I'm not real active on TikTok, but I do watch a lot of TikTok, and I'm constantly watching different chocolate shops and that, like in the States, I watch overseas, and if it looks like something I can tackle, I definitely try to give it a shot. Preparing for the holiday season is um, truthfully, I can't really prepare that well for the holiday season outside of like my corporate orders and people that do pre-orders. Um, you always have to prepare for the best and expect the worst and kind of roll with it and learn how to pivot. And this year, I am having to learn how to pivot. I've just learned that I need a knee replacement. And so this holiday season may look a lot different compared to those in the past. Um, I'm kind of still in that stage of panic, not knowing how I'm going to pull through, but I know that I have to not be afraid to ask for help because sometimes it takes a village. And as for feedback, I always ask for customers to leave reviews. I listen to them. I will have customers call often and say, "Oh my God, when are you going to make such and such? It was so good." And or even if it's not such good feedback, like it, they didn't enjoy something. I it, if it's constructive, it's easy to have that conversation and to offer to either fix the situation or remake the order or, you know, tell the customer that that's not the way you typically conduct business, apologize. And a lot of times people, when they're able to talk to you, they understand when things don't go right. But for the most part, customer reviews, whenever they come in, whether it's Google, Yelp, or just Facebook, always respond back to them. Don't ever leave an empty review open. And that's a little bit about me. I look forward to meeting you guys in person. If you'd like to come and say hi, that would be great. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for sharing. So now, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I have a few questions of my own. So we're going to start there. And then as they trickle in, I will read them from the chat. So this is a question that goes out to both Nick and Denise. I'm really curious because I find that when new businesses are opening and they hear about doing giveaways and gift cards, it's almost like in their mind, they're like, well, I'm losing money by giving away all this free stuff. What do you have to say in response to that?
Well, for me, I tend to do them, but you also have to make sure how much you're doing. Because if you're giving away $500 a month of product, that's money that you're not going to be making when they come in. Because a lot of times I find, unfortunately, and it doesn't happen every time, but they'll only spend the amount of gift certificate that it was for, or they'll only come and pick up the basket and they won't stop and shop and look around and see what else you have. So you have to really be picky. I tend to do charities. I don't really do people that just ask for donations for different things. I want to make sure that whatever I'm donating to is a good fit for me.
Nick?
Yeah, and what Denise touches on with, staying true to your branding is like really key, right? So that community local orientation can be huge. The other thing I want to say is that what I've come across a lot is, people saying like, well, I want to do a giveaway so that I can then make some sales, right? But the thing is, it goes back to that customer journey. The reality of social media is a big part of it is awareness. So when you're building your social media pages, your goals are likely around awareness with the end goal of eventually having people go through that customer journey. But when we do a giveaway, it's like, okay, well, what is our intention and goal for the giveaway? And reminding ourselves of that before we put it out. And knowing what our budget is, knowing what we're willing to put out there, knowing that, like, often I only put giveaways out to grow a following. Like, we're growing followers, we're trying to get engagement, we're trying to get people on the page. It's less so about direct sales, right? Because that will come after. And so figuring out how much do you want to put into that. And there's ways that you can balance it too, right? Like if you want to do a big giveaway, but you're not willing to invest a lot in it, can you collaborate with other people in the community that are also willing to add to like a basket? Or, is it a dinner date night out? Or like, how can we frame that, right? So there's different ways of balancing the budget there.
Okay, I have another question. So if you had to go back in time to a previous holiday campaign that you've worked on, what would you change and what would you keep the same? You can take some time to think about it.
I think that I always go with good intentions. I always make lists. I'm a big list maker. And I go in order of like, okay, you know you can do this and you do it. If you have time to move on to something else, you can. But I think that my my worst enemy is time. And I'm a perfectionist, and sometimes people don't care about the perfection, they just want the product. And
Mhm.
so I have to really watch how much time I'm spending on doing certain things. And if anything that I would go change would be time management.
Yeah, and my comments are in the same vein, um, which is that I think when we when we plan, and I've experienced this myself, planning for clients, but like when we start planning a holiday campaign, it can feel like really daunting, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to take advantage of this time of the year, and I have to take
Mhm.
advantage of Black Friday and Boxing Day and New Year's and Christmas, and there's so much that it can feel really overwhelming. So I always get people to kind of distill it down and pick and choose like what is going to be your focus. It doesn't need
Mhm.
to be like 10 different tactics or strategies, right? It doesn't need to be a sale and an appreciation event and then also like a 12 days of giveaways. Like you can pick one and that can be enough.
Okay. When should you start your holiday campaigning?
Now, 2 months
Yep.
ago, like
Yeah.
it just depends. Like I I I believe I have some stuff that's going to be going up in the next couple of days. And just to remind people, it's not too late to book, you know, your chocolate
Mm.
order, or advent calendars are on sale. They're pre-order only, blah, blah, blah. Um, so I say anytime.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I definitely echo those statements. Also because you have to really factor in the reality of like you have to plan ahead, right?
Mhm.
And if you're doing content, if you're doing social media, you need to batch your content,
Mhm.
um, or start creating it at the very least. And you want to be top of mind when people go into that buying process. So you need to have started before they start buying.
Yep. And then following up on that question, how long do you continue the question past Christmas? Like, do you go into Boxing Day, the New Year, so on?
Mine goes from Christmas to Valentine's Day. Like I start the first week of January. In January, typically I take holidays because I'm not able to take them any other time of the year. Uh, but the first or second week of January, I start putting out pre-orders for Valentine's Day. And
Mhm.
even though the shop might not be physically open, I'm usually here working. So it's I don't do the Boxing Day thing
Mhm.
and all of that. I go straight into Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it depends on like the nature of your business and your branding. So that one's kind of subjective, right? So it's like you got to consider, right? It makes sense, Denise, that you want to go into Valentine's Day, right? It's chocolate season for sure.
Yep.
So you want to leverage all of those holidays and then you know, depending on what your business and your branding is, you also want to consider your capacity too, right? So like
Mhm.
how many people are helping you do this, right? How much do you want to invest in this? And what are your overall goals, right? So all of that plays a factor into picking and choosing, okay, like which holidays do I want to maximize?
Okay, so we're starting to get some questions in the chat. I'm just going to give a quick point. Lubna, I see you have your hand raised. We have participants muted, so if you have a question, please type it in the chat. From Debbie, we have, what advice do you have for a holiday season promotion for in-person markets?
Well, I always like to do like a small little gift basket and, and I just do a draw, and people really like that. And, you know, it's usually like with the purchase, you get in this, and then I'll run it till like the week before, whatever the season or holiday is. And people really like to get on that kind of thing.
Mm. And Nick, do you have anything to share for that one?
I mean, I would need more specifics on what like, I don't know if it's product or service. But I mean, yeah, like a basket, a bundle, I think a raffle in store. Like I think what Denise said is great.
One thing that I'll add for that question is just like, you're at a market, you're competing with all these other tables and all these other booths. And sometimes you will have like 5 soap businesses or 3 bread places. So what you want to focus on is make your booth as exciting and intriguing as possible, right? So whether that is by having like a wheel that you can spin, like having engagement stuff, so that when people are coming with their kids, the kids are running to your table going, look, 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 I want to play with this. And then now you're reeling people in and they're coming to your table. Like you said, the basket, doing giveaways. Some people really like a calm environment when they shop, but I think for the holidays, it's competition, and sometimes it's just being the most engaging. Lindsay has a question. So, Nick recommended collaborating with others for giveaways. How would you suggest initiating that conversation with a brand you align with, but may not know you as a newer business?
Right. I mean, I love this question. Networking is your best friend in the business world. Like, going to business events that the regional business center puts on, for example, connecting with other business owners through workshops like this, like in person. This specifically, if you have someone specific in mind, sometimes you can reach out. One of my favorite go-tos on social media is asking people if they want to do a coffee chat. And if they're willing to do some networking and just like trade ideas, and you can frame it as like, hey, I'm just looking to get to know some other local businesses. Would you want to grab a coffee or have a quick virtual chat, right? And I find like coffee chats has really built my business, to be quite honest with you. And I find them really helpful, and people are more willing than you would expect. I know that can feel scary to make that ask, but they are. So it doesn't hurt. You can also start engaging with them in different ways. Like if you do follow them on social media, initiating some little conversations based on what they're posting, or like maybe there's something they put in their story that day that's intriguing, and so you wanted to send a little reply that will land you in their private messages, and you can start a conversation there so that you warm them up before you like cold pitch a coffee chat. But also being clear that like, hey, I'm not trying to get anything specific out of this coffee chat. I want to get to know you, and also like maybe talk about some kind of collaboration.
I totally agree. It's focusing on the allyship instead of the competition part of like, how can we amplify each other?
100%.
Any advice on marketing and properly preparing an appropriate amount of inventory for the holiday market?
Well, I start off my holidays, Remembrance Day weekend. I do Llewellyn Park Secondary Craft Show every year. And for that, I make massive amounts of product. And sometimes I have enough left over to stock the store, just to stock the store. and sometimes I don't. No matter, and so I keep like a list of how much I sold from year to year, and I always like add 20% to it. But once I'm in the store, I have a little bit of excess inventory, but I kind of make as I go, especially around the holidays, and certain things don't
Mm-hmm.
have that long of shelf life. And so I that's how I do things.
Mm-hmm. Nick, do you have anything to add to that?
That's fully a Denise question because I don't do
Yeah,
inventory. So
all good. So another question from Debbie: would you combine more than one market in the draw, or draw for each one?
Okay, I can answer this. On Mother's Day this year, I coordinated a draw with all the businesses on Durham Street, and we did a massive gift basket that was worth around, I can't remember if it was $700 or $900, but there were like bukus of people that did the whole, follow this, follow that, tag your friend, whatever, and then you did the wheel spinning thing, and
Mhm.
that's pretty cool. And so I just, through the networking, like, we meet all the people that's in
Mhm.
our area, right? Um, and the Downtown Business Association is really good for getting us all together, and we meet each other that way. And so whenever one of us has a draw that we want to do, it's like, hey, you want to kick in a gift certificate and or a product, and you end up with a really nice gift to give away.
That's awesome. Another great question from Lindsay. For service-based businesses, what are your thoughts if they did a giveaway with other products? So interior designer, doing a giveaway with home hardware gift cards.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's great. It's something that I've done with my businesses who don't have a specific tangible giveaway, or like product to give away, right? So including like some gift cards, maybe some other things that are aligned with your values or your business. But I would also add like give it a holiday twist, right? So if you want to do some holiday promo around interior design, like what could that look like? Is it like
Mm-hmm.
focus on making your house a home this new year, right? Is it around like New Year's resolutions? Like New Year, new home giveaway basket, right? Like what are ways that we can twist that to appeal to the holidays? But absolutely, if you're service based, you can give away some products. Sometimes I would even take advantage of like, yeah, is this like a local home hardware that you can reach out to the owners and say, hey, we're doing a giveaway. Can we tag you in it? And then having that cross collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can see a few more questions are being or brewing in people's minds. So I'm gonna ask another one of my own while we wait. I had one. Oh, so I'm just curious, especially for you, Denise. When did it click that you had a loyal customer base? Like when you clicked that like people were coming in, like the same person, like every month, and you were like, I have a fan of my business.
When I learned their name,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people by name.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's important to kind of, if I see a new face, I'm like, hey, I'm Denise. What's your name? And I'm pretty well able to remember that person, and so it
Hmm.
impresses them when they come in, and you know, like like they're my number one fan. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And makes
Hmm.
them feel like they're kind of part of the family.
Okay, last question because I don't see any more coming in. Um, basic, great finisher. What's your number one piece of advice for everybody here that's looking to start preparing for their holiday campaigns?
Well, I would start it now, and I can't stress that enough, because there's such, depending on what you're doing, there's we're not just competing with Sudbury, we're competing with the world now, that you can buy anything off the internet that you want. And so I would start now and don't overpromise.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Yeah.
And Nick, what about you?
I would say what I've already said a few times, which is see the holiday campaign as like a boost for your overall marketing. So how can you leverage that to hit your yearly goals, right? Like what are those goals? Are you driving awareness? Are you growing a social media page? Are you growing an email list? Are you growing client retention? Like what does that look like? And then base your strategies off of those kind of overall goals.
Incredible. Incredible. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for attending today and presenting and sharing your wonderful experience and wisdom. For everybody here, I encourage you, keep signing up to these webinars. Each and every one is so completely unique, but so insightful and full of knowledge. The recording for this video will be up very soon, and I will share all the slides with you all, so keep an eye on your emails. And if you want to connect further with Nick and Denise, like feel free, especially Denise, go visit her shop, contact Nick if you need any help with your social media, and just use this as a networking. We're all here to help each other. We all want to support each other, and we all want each other to be successful. So with that, I wish you all a great day and enjoy the Thanksgiving weekend.
Thank you, Rafi.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.